have the farmers of Nyatike finally put down their fishing nets and picked up planters and threshers? Let's find out at the Lower Kuja Irrigation Scheme in Migori County.
Kilimo ni nguzo ya uchumi wetu, twamshukuru Rais wetu Uhuru kwa kuimarisha sekta ya kilimo.
Early morning hours at Nyatike constituency, and some locals are already spreading their rice out to dry. It wasn't always like these. These farmers were once fishermen.
Fishing in this area is an old activity, yeah, and that's where most of the people from around here get their food and even the money or maybe the capital. So it's very hard to convince them to come from the water to the land.
And theirs is a journey that started when the National Irrigation Authority began rehabilitating the Lower Kuja Irrigation Scheme.
Last year, at a time like this area was full of shrub, typical of arid and semi-arid land. That was the last year, but within 6 months, you can see the transformation that National Irrigation Authority has brought to the people of Nyatike. Right now, they can do rice. National Irrigation Authority has conveyed this water from the Kuja River, which is 20 kilometers away, to serve these people of Sagama in Nyatike constituency.
To fully introduce rice farming in this region, NIA had to start from the basics by training one farmer who would later teach others on the same. Hard task, isn't it?
A year ago, when we started doing conveyancing to this area, we identified a farmer. We call him Mkulima number 1 of the Lower Kuja Irrigation Project. So the farmer, we supported him to do 1 acre of land. And from the 1 acre, the farmer got 50 bags of around 5 tons. So when he sold the produce to Western Kenya rice mills, he got around 150,000. That was on top of the rice that he had left for food consumption. So when people saw this, they were really motivated to at least try rice farming.
It was not an easy idea to sell, but the prospects that came with it proved to be worth trying.
When it was first said this rice was coming to take this whole field, we were not happy because this region is always dry for a bigger part of the year. And most people get rescue of their animals when they bring them here, and this field now, the rice take, is where we used to graze. And you remember, people bring the animals from very far off to send here to get saved during drought. So we thought that was, we were being robbed of our income, which is their livestock. So we didn't look at it as anything positive to us. Now, without me saying, you go to the field and see the number that attend the work in the fields there, and you possibly see they are happy. Many women now are not idle in the homes. They come to the field, and many other people that used to go to fishing, some have come back to rice farming. And even the people that used to go to mining, some have come back to rice. Yeah, so it's now a quite welcome thing.
Many farmers have now been trained on rice farming to complement their fishing activities. This, they say, has provided them with additional channels to earn a living and feed their families.
Before I got my school for teaching, I was just swimming here. But as per now, I only come here during holidays. And it helps because I can go and sell the rice that I get from here to other people, and I get my capital. And that capital can help me in my family, yeah, to pay fee for my brothers and sisters, and even to help even the needy in the society.
The area that now that is under production is 2,500 acres. For rice production, we have 1,500, and then there is sugarcane on the upper part of the scheme, and then there are also other crops like watermelon and tomatoes. So the project has really transformed the Nyatike constituency, because before this area was just dry. The area I am standing in was full of shrubs and cactus. That was as late as August last year. But you can see within 4 months how the project has transformed the area.
To these farmers, it is better a grain of rice in your own farm than fish that freely roams in the lake with no guarantee of a catch.
Na sasa nikikuja vile nimekuja leo, inanisaidia kwa chakula ya watoto, kununua uniform. Sasa hatusumbui wanaume wetu kabisa. Unapata yako, akileta kidogo na ulete ingine, mnasaidiana. Na huko baharini tulikuwa tunaweza enda na samaki, ukose samaki kabisa na ukuje bila hata shilingi moja. Na hapa ukipata kazi, utapata kitu na utasaidika.
Rice farming is real, and there are a lot of gains in rice. So you know, the fishing is unpredictable. You can go there and by the end of the day, you are not sure of getting something. But here, like even these people working, by the end of the day they are paid, they'll get money. Unlike fishing where you can go and by the end of the day you go home with nothing. Yeah.
Their satisfaction is registered in their hope that the government will invest more in the expansion of this scheme to open it up to more farming.
Lower Kuja is a very big project. If we could assist so that it is expanded, the whole acreage is done, will be very happy, because that will give a lot of employment opportunities for our people. It's helping me a lot individually. I harvested recently. I got money. See, that has changed my life. Yeah, I'm very happy.
It is not just those who have land here that have benefited. The activities here have availed good avenues for casual laborers to earn a living too.
Since I'm a laborer, I do not have my own farm, so I can do the different kind of jobs. This is better than the lake. You know, here I can come with my wife, we can work 2 people and earn our salaries per day. But at the lake there, I have to go myself, and I do not know what I'm working for. I will just find myself at the evening that I have nothing.
Young people in this region have not been left behind. A clear contrast on what has been the norm of young people leaving farming to the elderly.
The rice growing in this area, actually it has brought in very many people from different areas who want to practice the growing of rice, and that one it enabled people, even the business has really moved up. The issues of sending money or receiving money through M-Pesa, people traveling to this place, even the people who are living here looking for the houses where they can live, rental houses, that's really brought so many people, so a lot of business is taking place around this area.
The National Irrigation Authority says the Lower Kuja irrigation scheme has potential for 84,000 acres. The focus being to expand the scheme in line with President Uhuru Kenyatta's food security pillar under the Big Four agenda.
The potential of Lower Kuja Irrigation Development Project is 84,000 acres. But what National Irrigation Authority has designed is 19,000 acres. The 19,000 can be done using the flow of the river, the normal flow of the river. We call it run of the river, the 19,000. But then the remaining 50,000, the remaining 60,000 can be done after a dam is built upstream of the project. On the dam has been designed, and actually it is at the tendering stage. So when immediately we get a contractor on board and the dam is done, then we'll cover the whole potential of the Lower Kuja Irrigation Development Project.
Rice farming in the western region has continued to grow over the years, from the newest kid on the block at Lower Kuja to the Bunyala irrigation scheme, which has been in existence for a while. Here, it is planting season and the farmers are up to the task.
Sahi natandaza, niko katika hali ya kutandaza ili nipande. Nafanya leveling, baadaye ndo nitapanda. Hao watu wanatusaidia wakati ambapo tuna shida kama hizi za maji, na shida kama hizi za mbegu, tunaenda tunawaelezea, alafu baadaye wanatutatulia hizo shida.
The Bunyala irrigation scheme is fed by water from River Nzoia. This water supplies 2,000 acres of land, which is under rice.
So this is the main pump station for Bunyala irrigation scheme. We have 4 submersible pumps which were installed in 2006. We abstract the water from River Nzoia and it's pumped, and after the water is pumped, it flows along the main conveyance to the scheme. We have 4 pumps and each has a capacity of 0.3 cubic meters per second. We normally use 2 pumps. We normally run 2 pumps at a time, while 2 are standby. So this water flows downstream along the main conveyance and it irrigates 2,000 acres of rice in the scheme.
NIA continues to rehabilitate the scheme and provide the necessary assistance to farmers to ensure they reap maximum benefits from their farming activities.
We run through field days with farmers at every crop stage. We start with the land preparation. We may not do for every farmer at their field level, but when we have different field days, we bring all the farmers from the scheme together, activity-based. So like to this field, they just had recently a field day on transplanting, so that when they do the transplanting, they know how to handle the crops, so don't cause a lot of injuries on the crop, moving the crop from the field to from the nursery to the main field. So we have field days targeting land preparation, whether to do dry plowing or wet land preparation, the advantages of each. They normally have field days on like the chemicals to use. The next chemical that they need to apply now is a herbicide to control the weed, because we have a challenge of neighbor. So immediately after transplanting, within that 1 week before we apply the first irrigation water, we take them through the field day on application of chemicals, of herbicides, to control the herbicides. So we run with them stage-wise. From one stage to the other, there is a different requirement that they need to do.
Ukulima wa mchele umenisaidia kwa sababu ndio umefanya watoto wangu wakapata elimu, ndio umefanya vitu ambavyo navyo kama mifugo nimetoa hapa, na naona midumata maisha yangu pia. Sina moyo mwingine wa kwenda kutafuta kazi nyingine nje. Naona hii kazi inanielekea vizuri. Hiyo mimi pia naunga huo mwito wa rais, panuliwe ili kazi iwe nyingi.
Wanakuja tu hapa wakati wa kupanda na wakati saa zile wanavuna mchele. Tunakuja, sijui kwa Kiswahili unahitaji kuhonja. Tunakuja kutwanga mchele, alafu wanatupako mchele na pesa kidogo ya kujisaidia. Na kupanda huwa tunakuja tunapanda, alafu pia wanatulipa.
The authority has also put in place measures to ensure the rice produced in all the schemes in this region is purchased through the Kenya National Trading Corporation in line with President Kenyatta's directive to protect farmers from unscrupulous traders.
We are currently working with the Kenya National Trading Corporation and as a result of the presidential direction, so that we give better prices to the farmers, they are able to go into production. Currently, because we only have non-aromatic, that is the Sindano variety, the farmers are being paid 40 shillings for the paddy at field level, 95 shillings for the milled rice when they do milling. The cooperative is the one that is doing the milling, so the cooperative get it from the farmers at 40 shillings at the paddy, and they do the value addition and sell to KNTC at 95 shillings. For aromatic varieties, the Pishori paddy costs for 85. So there is a difference between non-aromatic and aromatic varieties.
Many of the farmers who have engaged in rice farming here plan to expand their activities by leasing more land from their neighbors.
Mimi ndo nilikuwa nafanyia tu watu kazi tu ya shamba, lakini sasa hii ndo mara yangu ya kwanza nilikomboa hii shamba. Mimi ndo mara yangu ya kwanza kukomboa, nilikomboa hii na kuna ingine kule ng'ambo kule. Kulingana na mchele vile huko, na niko na matumaini kwamba ile fainini yangu yenye niliweka capital itatoka. Siwezi jua zaidi hapo, lakini kwanza capital itatoka. Na sasa kwa sasa nikisema shamba ambayo niko nayo hii na ile ni kama weka moja. Na lengo langu nataka kama ni vizuri niwe mkulima mkubwa, nitoke kwa weka moja nifike kwa weka 2. Mungu anisaidie fika hata kwa weka 10.
Sijanunua shamba, lakini nakodisha tu kwa mtu ili nifanye kazi, na hiyo kazi pia nisaidie kukuza familia yangu na watu wangu. So nafurahi kazi ya mchele kwa sababu nimefanya kama huu ni mwaka wa 4, lakini naona kama inanisaidia maishani. Hata imewahi nipatia kwa shamba ya kununua yenye mtu anaweza ishi 98,000. So nashukuru.
On the other side, the Nzoia irrigation project is also taking shape. The infrastructure is being put in place to increase water supply to the irrigation schemes in the counties of Siaya and Busia, boosting production of not just rice but other crops as well.
The project is scheduled to take 36 months, having commenced from June 2018. We are now at 20% physical progress. We are through with the concrete works at the main intake. The weir is complete. We are doing the intake structure, the headworks and the headworks canal. We've also done structures, all the structures along the headwork canal. We are complete at 95%. What is remaining for the structures is the fixing of gates. We are looking at this project to help shift the pumping from Nzoia in the Bunyala irrigation scheme We are currently using pumping system, but once this project is complete, we will now do away with the pumping and we'll be able to now use water gravity.
The implementation of this project has provided various employment opportunities for the youth who are employed on site.
Since the project started, we've had different labor requirements that we've been employing using this project. From this time, we have drivers, we have plant operators, we have steel fixers like the ones that are working behind us now. We have within, those are the technical, the artisans. We also have the engineers who are local, who are working with the steel fixers. We have, the project is packaged in two components. We have the engineering component, which I've mentioned, and we now have the production side, which has been working with farmers to build the capacity of the farmers so that they're able to shift from rain-fed system to irrigation system. And so we have field agronomists who are working, organizing on trainings. We have as researchers working with us. And in the long run, we are looking at the project being able to provide food security for this region and create employment by having youth working both on the structures on the project and also at the farm level by doing the actual production.
The annual rice production in the country is still not sufficient compared to the demand. Nonetheless, the rehabilitation and expansion of the rice growing schemes in the country by the National Irrigation Authority is bound to bring the country closer to bridging that gap.
Mimi sasa kwanza nitashukuru ule mradi ambao leo Nzoia anataka kuchimba hiyo, kwamba hapa kama sisi sasa tunategemea hii kazi ya mchele. Mabibi zetu anafanya hapa, madada zetu.
Namshukuru Rais Kenyatta kwa kutukumbuka kama sisi watu wa mashindani huku Busia County na Siaya County, kwa kutuinua kwa kilimo cha kisasa. Nimeweza sema ni asante.
We first of all want to thank Mr. President so much for this project. At least it has changed our lives.
I have a message of a goodwill. I say thank you to the President. I still welcome the other coming project, and we are proud of it. Yes, we are proud of the project.